Please be seated, and candidates remove your caps. The doctoral hooding ceremony of the 142nd commencement of the University of Kansas is now convened. Recipients of doctoral hoods at this ceremony are those who have completed work for the degrees of Doctor of Philosophy, Doctor of Education, Doctor of Musical Arts, Doctor of Audiology, Doctor of Occupational Therapy, Doctor of Physical Therapy, and Doctor of Nursing Practice. These degrees will be formally conferred by the Chancellor at commencement tomorrow. Members of the audience are welcome to take photographs during this ceremony. It is my pleasure to introduce to you the members of the stage party. As I say your name, please stand and be recognized and remain standing until everyone has been introduced, and please hold your applause till the end. Chancellor of the University of Kansas, Bernadette Gray Little. Kansas Board of Regents member, Kenny Wilk. Dean of Graduate Studies for the KU Lawrence campus, Michael Roberts. Recipient of an Argesinger Dissertation Prize, Christopher Robinson. Executive Vice Chancellor and Provost, Jeff Vitter. Associate Dean of Graduate Studies for the KU Medical Center, Mike Worley. Vice Chancellor for Research, Steve Warren. Senior Vice Provost for Academic Affairs, Sarah Rosen. Dean of the School of Education, Rick Ginsberg. Dean of the School of Pharmacy, Ken Audis. Recipient of the Byrd Graduate Educator Award, Eva Horn. Recipient of the Byrd Graduate Educator Award, Victor Frost. Dean of the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences, Danny Anderson. Dean of the School of Engineering, Michael Branicki. Interim Dean of the School of Social Welfare, Thomas McDonald. Dean of the School of Music, Robert Walzell. Associate University Marshal, Tom Volek. And I am Chris Brown, the University Marshal. Thank you. You may be seated. It is my pleasure to introduce Michael Roberts, Dean of Graduate Studies for the KU Lawrence campus.
Thank you. Regent Wilk, Chancellor Gray Little, distinguished guests, and doctoral candidates. Good afternoon and welcome to the doctoral hooding ceremony of the 142nd commencement celebrations at the University of Kansas. During this ceremony, candidates for doctoral degrees step forward and receive their academic hoods. This event is a celebration of milestone achievement, a celebration of accomplishment. Although rendered solemn by these black robes, the occasion is brightened by the joyous color of the doctoral hoods and what they signify for your achievement in the colors of your school or college on the velvet exterior and lined in the silk interior with the crimson and blue of the University of Kansas. Each hood signifies the highest degree of learning, scholarship, and creative performance that the Academy of Scholars can bestow. You've made it through bouts of nervous writing and revising, anxious checking of margins and footnotes, worried preparations for the oral defense, and the apprehensive waiting for the chair to inform you of the results. And all of that is behind you now. As you step forward to receive your hood, many thoughts will go through your mind. Whoa, these lights are really bright up here. Got to remember to smile for the camera. Where is the camera? I wonder if I could pull off a selfie with my advisor. And did I really finally make it through? As your advisor steps forward to hood you, he or she will also think many things, like how proud they feel about your work and your stepping forward. But mainly, and I hate to tell you candidates, mainly they're worried that they're going to put the hood on backwards or will strangle with you. And if they weren't worried about it before now, they are after I mention it. But more significantly, the faculty here today applaud your achievements and celebrate the newest generation of scholars. of Jayhawk doctorates, and they welcome you into the esteemed community of scholars. In your work at the University of Kansas, you have discovered new anti-cancer agents, examined the impact of gentrification on working-class families, created new hydrogels that will repair worn knees. You've made new discoveries about how the brain controls motor movement. You've studied the creation of a modern nation state. You examined and studied airborne collision avoidance systems. You enhanced learning in the nation's schools. You examined how society related to the environment in the Middle Ages. You investigated outcomes of diabetes in children, and you made discoveries that will harvest energy from ocean waves. And you've discovered so much more. If I took the time to cite the important contributions of all 389 of this year's doctoral recipients, we could be here all day and night. Now, I blocked off the time, but I assume you all want to celebrate in other ways after the ceremony, so I'm not going to list them all, but instead, in a few minutes, we're going to invite you proudly to step up on the stage with your faculty mentor, to be hooded, and then as colleagues, you'll walk across the stage together and step forward into the community of scholars. You started this process, the process of being one who stepped forward, not without fear and trepidation, but in spite of it, to seek knowledge and discovery. John Kennedy once quoted John Masefield as saying, "There are few earthly things more beautiful than a university." President Kennedy noted that Masefield did not refer to towers or to campuses. He admired the splendid beauty of a university because it was, he said, a place where those who hate ignorance may strive to know, and where those who perceive truth may strive to make others see. You are now in a select group because you step forward to strive to know. You step forward in challenging classes, seeking to acquire new information, to master new ways of thinking and investigating. In your teaching, you step forward to assist undergraduates in learning new material, to gain insights and to form skills in critical learning and thinking. In your research and in your pursuit of scholarship, you step forward to generate new knowledge, to conduct complicated analyses, and to communicate your findings, adding to the body of literature and knowledge in your field. These dissertations are now part of the public archives, and many will be disseminated in scholarly publications. I hope there is a bound copy that will appear on your family's coffee table for offhanded bragging about my child, the doctor. But your work is concrete evidence of your stepping forward. But you did not step forward alone. The KU faculty were here to meet you, forward alongside you, to serve as mentors, instructors, and advisors, to guide and cajole, to raise questions, and to promote an open consideration of alternatives, and to work through problem solving, and to urge you to and revise, and to revise, and to revise. But they also connected you with other scholars and researchers to build your career. So the university stepped forward to help you get here today. In the past, the state and nation stepped forward to support higher education, to create a robust research and development enterprise so vital to our lives today. There are innumerable university-based and developed discoveries and insights like those made by the candidates seated here today, and these have benefited society. Stepping forward means a long-term commitment to support education. The Academy is increasingly challenged by people who have benefited from the work of the university, but who now seek to hamstrung its ability to do what universities have historically been able to provide their sponsoring societies. State disinvestment in education now threatens our collective future, the quality of life, and the state economy. We need to make education again a renewed priority of investment to enhance a robust education and research enterprise. But we in the Academy cannot do it alone. We must rely on others to step forward and be responsible stewards to restore recognition, respect, and value for those citizens who have stepped forward and made the commitments that you have made, and those who will make the contributions that you will make in the future to enhance our world. As you step forward in your career, having been recognized for your efforts with the highest degree the university can bestow, remember that you came from a comprehensive research university. You may have seen it on the green sign on the interstate as you entered Lawrence, an international research university. It has great meaning. Graduate education is a most important function of a university that seeks to generate, organize, and disseminate knowledge through scholarship, research, and teaching. Graduate education and research are fundamentally at the core of this university. The value of your degree is not just based on knowledge and skills that you attained while you were in graduate school. The value is determined by the quality and reputation of the university and degree programs in the future. As you depart the campus to embark on your future, and you may happen to glance in the rearview mirror at the University on the Hill, recognize that your future is intrinsically intertwined and defined by the KU's ongoing educational activities. Each of you here today, distinguished guests on the stage, candidates and faculty colleagues, friends and families in the audience, I urge you to continue to step forward, to be advocates for graduate education and for improving the future of this great university. As you all entered the auditorium a few minutes ago, and I assure you it was just minutes, not hours, I enjoyed how many of you turned to point out and wave to your family and friends. These are the people who step forward to help you along your journey. These are the loved ones who have been there for many years, who held your hand as you learned to toddle, then walk, who helped you learn to ride a bike despite crashes at the beginning, and who cringed in the passenger seat as you learned to drive. They listened to late night, stress-induced phone calls and worried about whether you were eating right and taking care of yourself. They listened sympathetically as you vented about the demands of your doctoral program and your desires to meet the standard of excellence. They also never stopped asking you, "Aren't you done with that thing yet?" Graduates, let's turn and acknowledge those who contributed to your success, and let's celebrate them. Thank you. To the family and friends, we want to thank you for your contributions to the successful completion of the academic journey of your loved ones. They truly could not have done this amazing thing without you. When I received my doctoral hood, that strange little pocket at the bottom of the hood, which you all have discovered, or at least now you're itching to look to see what it is, but there is a little pocket that is probably an artifact of hood history or manufacturing. And I was told that the pocket would be filled with money, jewels, and riches. I waited for my family to fill the pocket, but I realized over time that they had already given a great deal to me. And the doctoral degree itself does bestow riches in immeasurable ways. Remember that you are now a Jayhawk doctorate. The Jayhawk is a mythical bird, but your doctoral degree is not mythical. As a doctoral candidate, your Jayhawk wings come with expectations and obligations. We expect you to use your knowledge and intellect and the scholarship skills that you gained here for advancing knowledge and enhancing humankind and the world in multiple and complex ways. With your Jayhawk wings, you can soar to fulfill our and your own expectations. But no matter where you go, no matter where you live, no matter what you do in your career, your people are here. This is your community, and it's a great day to be a Jayhawk doctorate. But speaking about stepping forward, I want to take this opportunity to present a surprise award recognizing leadership and commitment to graduate education at KU. Steve Warren, would you please step down? Dr. Warren served as Vice Chancellor for Research and Graduate Studies from 2007 until today. During that time, Dr. Warren worked tirelessly to enhance graduate education at the University of Kansas, contributing through his own scholarship, by the mentoring of his own graduate students, his directorship of the Schiefelbusch Institute of Lifespan Studies, and through leadership of KU's research arm for 7 years. Steve's support for the mission of graduate studies has been meaningful because he recognized the centrality of graduate studies to the research mission of the university. He contributed to improved funding and programming for graduate students, to enhanced financial support for conference travel and research data gathering activities, and to obtaining grants by graduate students. The certificate reads, Graduate Dean's Recognition of Stephen Warren, PhD, for significant contributions to graduate education at the University of Kansas. Congratulations.
It's my pleasure to now introduce Kenny Wilk, member of the Kansas Board of Regents.
Good afternoon, and welcome all doctoral candidates, faculty, friends, and family members. On behalf of the Kansas Board of Regents, I bring you our congratulations on your many accomplishments, which have culminated in the bestowal of your doctoral degrees this afternoon. As graduate students, you have made significant contributions to the research and teaching mission of the university and to the state of Kansas. The success of a comprehensive research university in expanding the frontiers of knowledge depends on the strength of its doctoral programs. Successful doctoral programs are nourished by the dedication, integrity, intelligence, and enthusiasm of their graduate students and faculty. I know you will take what you have learned and experienced here at the University of Kansas and use it in ways that will change lives wherever you go. I hope that many of you will remain in Kansas and establish your professional lives here. If you choose to leave, we hope at some point in the future you may return. I mentioned the contributions you've already made to the teaching and research missions of the university. Each of our state research universities have 3 primary missions: teaching, research, and service. I'm sure many of you have already done a great deal of service, but as you depart and realize your exciting futures, I want to ask a favor. Please, at some point in your future, seriously consider some form or fashion of public service. You are graduating from a public institution which was founded over 150 years ago. For over 150 years, individuals have stepped up to govern and guide this institution, this community, our state, and our nation. Institutions like KU and communities like Lawrence do not simply appear. They were started by visionaries, and they've grown and prospered through the decades because individuals stepped forward in the name of public service to lead and govern. I truly believe we live in the most exciting and promising of times. I truly believe our best days lie ahead. I also recognize we have significant, difficult, and complex challenges ahead. We need and must have our best and brightest working to make progress on the daunting challenges. You, yes, you, are the best and brightest among us. John Adams wrote his son, Thomas Adams, "Public business, my son, must always be done by somebody. It will be done by somebody or another. If wise men decline it, others will not. If honest men decline it, others will not." So the question for all of us, who among you at some point in time will choose to serve in some capacity your community, your state, our nation, or possibly the world? I am not suggesting you abandon your career dreams. Rather, I'm asking as you move forward, you look for opportunities to add on public service. I had the opportunity to hear a commencement speech delivered by Dr. Robert Gates, who served our nation in many capacities for many years. He stated, "Public service remains a necessary and honorable calling, and contrary to the perceptions of the many, it is a fulfilling and satisfying opportunity." I absolutely agree with Dr. Gates' observations. I am pleased to be able to celebrate with you here today, and I speak for all of my colleagues on the Kansas Board of Regents when I say congratulations and the very best of wishes to you in your future.
Provost Jeff Vitter will now present the 2014 Argesinger Dissertation Prizes.
Good afternoon. This is going to be a fun weekend. We've got to build our energy levels up, so I'm going to start over. Good afternoon. There we go. In 1992, the Marnie and Bill Argesinger Doctoral Dissertation Award was created through the generosity of former Vice Chancellor and Dean William J. Argesinger, Jr. and his wife, Marnie, and their friends in cooperation with KU Endowment. This year, we honor 2 Argesinger Dissertation Award winners, one in the fields of social science, education, humanities, and the arts, and one in the sciences and engineering. Chris Robinson is the 2014 Marnie and Bill Argesinger Dissertation Awardee in the social sciences, education, humanities, and the arts. Dr. Robinson, please step forward. Chris's dissertation is entitled Firing the Cannon, Multiple Insularities in Jazz Criticism. Dr. Robinson's nominators tell us that his dissertation, while theoretically sophisticated, is also accessibly written and exemplifies the intellectual richness of engaged scholarship at the doctoral level. Sherry Tucker, his advisor, noted the significance of this contribution and its potential to influence scholarship not only in jazz studies and cultural criticism, but in other fields that grapple with such persistent figurations as canonization processes and who gets to judge aesthetic value. Dr. Robinson will be continuing his career with Duke University Press. Congratulations. Randall Logan is the 2014 Marnie and Bill Argesinger Dissertation Awardee in the fields of sciences and engineering. Dr. Logan has taken a position with Bristol Myers Squibb out east and could not join us here today. Dr. Logan's dissertation is entitled Studies on the Mechanisms and Consequences of Drug-Induced Perturbations of Lysosomal Structure and Function. Randall's nominators inform us that Dr. Logan's studies provide completely new insight for understanding variability in patient response to drugs and will have a long-lasting impact in this field. Please join me in congratulating both of our awardees on their achievements.
Chancellor Bernadette Gray Little will now present this year's Louise Bird Graduate Educator Awards.
Good afternoon. The Louise Bird Graduate Educator Award is bestowed annually at the doctoral hooding ceremony to recognize graduate faculty who demonstrate an exceptional level of commitment and concern for the welfare and scholarship of graduate students. The award was established in 1984 to honor the memory of Louise Bird, longtime secretary of the graduate school, who was noted for her deep commitment to graduate students. This year, the nomination pool was exceptionally strong, and we are pleased to recognize two outstanding faculty mentors. The Bird Graduate Educator Award comes to each of our awardees through nomination by and enthusiastic support from colleagues and current and former students. The review committee, comprised of former Bird recipients, was honored to welcome both individuals into the group of honorees. Both individuals have received recognition and praise for both their own research and their training of the next generation of researchers in their respective fields. The first awardee is Victor Frost from Electrical Engineering and Computer Science. Dr. Frost, will you please come forward? Dr. Frost's nominators repeatedly noted his commitment to the professional development of his graduate students. One former student noted, "Dr. Frost made me rewrite my first journal article many times before it met the minimum quality standards that he expects from his students. This experience helped me immensely and laid the foundations for quality research, clear communications, and in-depth explorations that followed during and after my PhD." Another former student tells us, "I used Dr. Frost as my role model and made sure that I gave my students the best of me, putting them first and making sure that I was connecting with them not only in the classroom, but helping them develop as professionals. I am pleased to present this award to Dr. Frost." Our second awardee is Eva Horn. Dr. Horn, will you please step forward? Dr. Horn's nominators emphasized her extraordinary devotion to her students and the profession. Current and former students shared that with us. One stated, "Her commitment to ensuring the development of strong leaders in the field of early childhood special education has not only safeguarded the future of the field, but also created a cadre of professionals who will continue to emulate her commitment to students and scholars." This emulation is demonstrated by another student, a former student, who indicated, "When I am confronted with an unfamiliar challenge, I literally think, what would Eva do?" Please join me in thanking Dr. Horn for her extraordinary commitment to mentoring graduate students.
Regent Wilk, Chancellor Gray Little, distinguished faculty and guests, I now present the doctoral candidates. Hooding will be performed by faculty who have worked closely with the candidates. The name of each candidate and advisor is printed in the hooding ceremony program. I will read the name of the candidate and the faculty hooder as they cross the stage. I ask that you please withhold your applause until the conclusion of the ceremony. Candidates, please remove your caps before approaching the stage. I invite Regent Wilk, Chancellor Gray Little, and Provost Vitter to come forward to greet the candidates. Will the award recipients, candidates needing special assistance, and doctoral candidates associated with the stage party and marshals please approach the podium to receive your hood? Jeremy Early, Doctor of Education. Hooder Lisa Wolf Wendell. Lindsay Gibson, Doctor of Philosophy, Psychology. Hooder Ruth Ann Atchley. Srinath Pashikanti, Doctor of Philosophy, Medicinal Chemistry. Hooder Aburpa Dutta. Christopher Robinson, Doctor of Philosophy, American Studies. Hooder Sherry Tucker. Peter Williams, Doctor of Philosophy, American Studies. Hooder Sherry Tucker. Diane Plunkett, Doctor of Philosophy, Special Education. Hooder Eva Horn. Zaid Haya, Doctor of Philosophy, Electrical Engineering, hooded by Victor Frost. Martin Kuhnhausen, Doctor of Philosophy, Computer Science, hooded by Victor Frost. Susana Mariscal del Villar, Doctor of Philosophy, Social Work, hooded by Thomas MacDonald. Carrie Grunewald, Doctor of Musical Arts, Church Music, hooded by Michael Bauer. Shan Kan Chien, Doctor of Musical Arts, Violin Performance, hooded by Veronique Mathieu. Kai-Yin Crystal Lam, Doctor of Musical Arts, Piano Performance, hooded by Jack Weinrock. Wan Ju Ho, Doctor of Musical Arts, Piano Performance, hooded by Richard Reber. Suk Jong Woo, Doctor of Musical Arts, Piano Performance, hooded by Richard Reber. Madeline Moore, Doctor of Musical Arts, Clarinet Performance, hooded by Stephanie Zelnick. Carl Spaeth, Doctor of Musical Arts, Saxophone, hooded by Martin Burgee. Eric Oleshak, Doctor of Musical Arts, Trombone Performance, hooded by Michael Davidson. Ji Hyun Park, Doctor of Musical Arts, hooded by Edward Laut. Hayreem Jong, Doctor of Musical Arts, Voice Performance, hooded by Edward Laut. Candidates from the School of Pharmacy, please approach the stage. Will the Dean of Pharmacy please come forward to greet the candidates? Jade Franklin, Pharmacy and Toxicology, hooded by Gonzalo Carrasco. Pan Pan, Pharmacy and Toxicology, hooded by Rick Dabrowski. Carrie McAllister, Neurosciences, hooded by Nancy Muma. Pomna Badawi, Doctor of Philosophy, Neurosciences, hooded by Honglian Xu. Feeney, Mary Torsen Feeney, Doctor of Philosophy, Pharmaceutical Chemistry, hooded by Christian Skonik. Warankana Ponputapitak, Doctor of Philosophy, Pharmaceutical Chemistry, Corey Birkland is the hooder. Anand Joshi, Medicinal Chemistry, hooded by Jane Aldrich. Hashim Motiwala, Medicinal Chemistry, hooded by Jeffrey Obey. Candidates from the School of Social Welfare, please approach the stage. And will the Dean of the School of Social Welfare please come forward to greet the candidates? Tamara Rydal Sigley. Social Work, hooded by Amy Mendenhall. Rebecca Gillum, Doctor of Philosophy and Social Work, hooded by Chris Peter. Out of order. Amanda Sue Hartman, hooded by Caroline Kaiser Bennett. Will the Dean of the School of Engineering please come forward to greet the candidates? Egaman Chetinkangaya, Doctor of Philosophy, Electrical Engineering. James Sturbance, Hooder. Mi Young Park, Computer Science. Bo Lo, Hooder. Alan Wei, Aerospace Engineering, hooded by Charlie Zhang. Adam Mellott, Doctor of Philosophy and Bioengineering, hooded by Michael Dedamore. Jae-Yeon Kim, Bioengineering, hooded by Stephen Gurka. Tiffany Chiami Suyakama, Doctor of Philosophy in Chemical and Petroleum Engineering, hooded by Steve Gurka. Kenneth Brown, Electrical Engineering, hooded by Glenn Prescott. Brock Charles Roughton, Bioengineering, hooded by Kyle Camarda. Michael Mangus, Mechanical Engineering, hooded by Chris Depsick. Sylvia Wosu, Chemical and Petroleum Engineering, hooded by Aaron Skirdo. Brian Cordill, Electrical Engineering, hooded by Sarah Seguin. Ming Lee, Chemical and Petroleum Engineering, hooded by Bala Subramanian. Xin Jin, Chemical and Petroleum Engineering, hooded by Raghunath Chaudhry. Katrina Legursky, Aerospace Engineering, hooded by Richard Hale. Emily Arnold, Aerospace Engineering, hooded by Richard Hale. Ihsan Hosseini, Electrical Engineering, hooded by Eric Perrins. Moharam Ali Tunch, Electrical Engineering, hooded by Eric Perrins. Kyung Ok Lee, Civil Engineering, hooded by Mario Medina. Ben Pendergrass, Civil Engineering, hooded by David Darwin. Seals O, Aerospace Engineering, hooded by Craig McLaughlin. Julian Esposito, hooded by Sean Kashmiri. Summer Amundsen, Bioengineering, hooded by Carl Lucis. Adam Sear, Bioengineering, hooded by Carl Lucis. Anjali Sandip, Mechanical Engineering, hooded by Terry Faddis. Viraj Singh, Mechanical Engineering, hooded by Dr. Anil Misra. Ranganathan Parthasarathi, Bioengineering, hooded by Anil Misra. Naj Laemud, Computer Science, hooded by Arvin Aga. John Gibbons, Computer Science, hooded by Arvin Aga. Candidates for the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences, please approach the stage, and will the Dean of the College Arts and Sciences, please come forward to greet the candidates. Susan Kime, Public Administration, Hooder John Nalbandian. Amanda Falk, Geology, by Luis Gonzalez. Heather Addick, Communication Studies, hooded by Adrienne Kunkel. Benjamin Garner, Communication Studies, hooded by Adrienne Kunkel. Cooper Wakefield, Communication Studies, hooded by Yanbing Zhang. Laura Obricki Barrett, Communication Studies, hooded by Tracy Russo. Christine Knudsen, Communication Studies, hooded by Alicia Vodsilo. Jacqueline Howell, Communication Studies, hooded by Dave Tell. Chikako Mochizuki, History, by Jeff Moran. Damon Talbot, American Studies, hooded by Ann Schofield. Jason Van Allen, Clinical Child Psychology, hooded by Rick Steele. Cullen Merritt, Public Administration, hooded by Heather Gita Taylor. Hispano Duron Gomez, Film and Media Studies, hooded by Tamara Falikoff. Samuel Jason Cole, Film and Media Studies, hooded by Catherine Preston. Anthony Barley, Ecology and Evolutionary Biology, hooded by Rafe Brown. Andres Lira Noriega, Ecology and Evolutionary Biology, hooded by Jorge Soberon. Andrew Spaeth, hooded by Misha Barabin, Chemistry. John Myers Jr., Chemistry, hooded by Misha Barabin. Stephanie Stillo, History, hooded by Leslie Tuttle. Philip Fox, History, hooded by Leslie Tuttle. Ellen Rozek, Psychology and Gerontology, hooded by Susan Kemper. Megan Blossom Prentice, Child Language, hooded by Susan Kemper. Yichi Chan, Child Language, hooded by Susan Kemper. Hiba Handi Maruk Mustafa, Microbiology, hooded by David Davido. Amy Newton, Microbiology, hooded by Stephen Benedict. Bria Kettle, Microbiology, hooded by Susan Egan. Virinda Kupalu, Molecular, Cellular, and Developmental Biology, hooded by Susan Egan. Andrew McFarland, Philosophy, hooded by Dale Dorsey. Sean Messerol, philosophy, hooded by Dale Dorsey. Brandon Gillette, philosophy, hooded by Dale Dorsey. Mark Harvey, political science, hooded by Mark Jocelyn. Juan Urbano Jr., political science, hooded by Donald Hyder Markel. Stephen Davis, entomology, hooded by Michael Engel. Jung Jun, chemistry, hooded by Paul Hansen. Eric Hood, English, hooded by Ann Rowland. Jessica Jesse, English, hooded by Laura Milkey. Jana Tigalar, English, hooded by Susan Harris. Lauren Harmson Kinu, English, hooded by Doris Elliott. D. Joseph Cunningham, Germanic Languages and Literature, hooded by Nina Vyatkina. James Landis, Germanic Languages and Literature, hooded by Frank Barron. Kendra Fullwood, English, hooded by Frank Farmer and Dorothy Pennington. Daryl Dance, English, hooded by Frank Farmer. Mary Mba, French, hooded by Bruce Hayes. Olivia Prouveau Allen, French, hooded by Van Kelly. Jillian Weatherly, French, hooded by Paul Scott. Anna Schmidt-Naylor, Behavioral Psychology, hooded by Catherine Saunders. Jonathan Miller, Behavioral Psychology, hooded by Derek Reed. William Bishop, American Studies, hooded by James Carruthers. Don Chen, Political Science, hooded by John Kennedy. Jiang Liu, Linguistics, hooded by Ji Zhang. Yusufu Kamara, Economics, hooded by Mohammed Elodiri. Ian Wesley Gapp, Geology, hooded by Bruce Lieberman. Erin Elizabeth Soap, Geology, hooded by Bruce Lieberman. James Lamsdell, Geology, hooded by Bruce Lieberman. Rubina Firdus, Geology, hooded by Rick Devlin. Michael O'Brien, Spanish, hooded by Isidro Rivera. Stephen Corbett, Anthropology, hooded by Sandra Gray. James Herink, Anthropology, hooded by John Jansen. Antoinette Agito, Anthropology, hooded by John Hoops. Andrew Hilburn, Geography, hooded by Brent Metz. Stephanie Kozak, Geography, hooded by Barney Worf. Maggie Book, Geography, hooded by Terry Slocum. Lori Curtindale, Psychology, hooded by Pascal Debuck. Stephen Short, Psychology, hooded by Pascal Debuck. Mingji Zhang, Mathematics, hooded by Weishu Liu. Sarah Thomas, Chemistry, hooded by Craig Lunt. Kevin Armenderis, Chemistry, hooded by Craig Lunt. Fabio Cacharibo, Economics, hooded by Joe Sicilian. Danai Taneme, Economics, hooded by Joe Sicilian. Crystal Boson, American Studies, hooded by Randall Jelks. Ritesh Kumar, Bioinformatics, hooded by Mario Rivera. Kellyanne Grusendorf, Molecular, Cellular, and Developmental Biology, hooded by Matthew Buchner. Raymond Kaler, Molecular, Cellular, and Developmental Biology, hooded by Brian Ackley. Christy Olson, Psychology, hooded by Nancy Hamilton. Melinda Ann Gaddy, Psychology, hooded by Rick Ingram. Tiffany Midas, Psychology, hooded by Rick Ingram. Danya Goodman, Psychology, hooded by Sarah Kirk. Stephanie Knapp, History of Art, hooded by Charles Eldridge. Sua McCormick, History of Art, hooded by Marcia Hoffler. Sungnam Lee, History of Art, hooded by Marcia Hoffler. Lisa Marie Wright, Sociology, hooded by Elif Andak. Robert Hughes, Sociology, hooded by Elif Andak. Amy Ash, English, hooded by William Harris. Benjamin Cartwright, English, hooded by William Harris. Amanda Luking Frost, English, hooded by William Harris. Mark Hennessy, English, hooded by William Harris. Louise Krug, English, hooded by Megan Kaminsky. Anne Martinez, English, hooded by Misty Schieberly. Ali Brox, English, hooded by Byron Caminero Santangelo. Candidates from the School of Education approach the stage, and will the Dean of the School of Education please come forward to greet the candidates. Hugh Jung-soo, Special Education, hooded by Michael Waymeyer. Kristen Lyon, Special Education, hooded by Wayne Saylor. Jennifer Spencer, Educational Leadership and Policy Studies, hooded by Susan Twombly. Nangmo Lau Reeves, Educational Leadership and Policy Studies, hooded by Susan Twombly. Daniel Pollitt, Special Education, hooded by Donald Deschler. Haydon Park, Special Education, hooded by Deborah Griswold. Jacob Wolf, Special Education, hooded by Deb Griswold. Brooke Young Carson, Special Education, hooded by Richard Simpson. Melanie Harms, Special Education, hooded by Richard Simpson. Sharon Gahn, Educational Leadership and Policy Studies, hooded by Edward Mayen. Edward Wilson, Jr., Educational Leadership and Policy Studies, hooded by Ronald Ost. Zachary Graham, Physical Education, hooded by Philip Gallagher. Ryan Scott Ellett, Curriculum and Instruction, hooded by Paul Markham. Edward Fox, Curriculum and Instruction, hooded by Paul Markham. Matthew Andre, Health and Physical Education, hooded by Andrew Fry. Brett Haskell, Counseling Psychology, hooded by Barbara Kerr. Christina Kahn, Counseling Psychology, hooded by James Lichtenberg. Mari Flake, Curriculum and Instruction, hooded by Kelly Thomas. Nicole Singleton, Curriculum and Instruction, hooded by Reva Friedman. Oh, what's your name? So-Young Kim. So-Young Kim. Manuela Gonzalez Buena is the hooder. Jeffrey DeBacker, Educational Leadership and Policy Studies, hooded by Suzanne Rice. Sarah Oatsval, Educational Leadership and Policy Studies, hooded by Argan Satchalu. Diana Bjorkum Wade, Special Education, hooded by Mary Morningstar. Jane Groff, Special Education, hooded by Mary Morningstar. Karen Baylor, Curriculum and Instruction, hooded by Barbara Phipps. Todd Wheat, Educational Leadership and Policy Studies, hooded by Rick Ginsberg. Belinda Katarima, School Psychology, hooded by Matthew Reynolds. Elodie Jones, Curriculum and Instruction, hooded by Alan Miller. Candidates from the School of Business, please come forward to receive your doctoral hoods. Kay Lee, Business, hooded by John Sweeney. Candidates from medicine, nursing, and health professions approach the stage, and will the Dean of Graduate Studies for the KU Medical Center please come forward to greet the candidates. Leslie E., Rehabilitation Science, hooded by Russell Swerdlow. Lauren Tomey, Medical Nutrition Science, hooded by Deborah Sullivan. Jessica Witherspoon, Rehabilitation Science, hooded by Terrence McIff. Lori Sharp, Occupational Therapy, hooded by Kimberly Vandegeest Wallace. Lisa Culleton, Nursing Practice, hooded by Moya Peterson. Rebecca French, Practice, hooded by Moya Peterson. Marlene Pietrocola, Nursing Practice, hooded by Debbie Ford. Patricia Daly, Nursing Practice, hooded by Laverne Manos. Gwyneth Wagner, Nursing Practice, hooded by Carol Buller. Louisa Kamatuka, Nursing Practice, hooded by Karen Wambach. Christine Hadsell, Nursing, hooded by Karen Wambach. Paul Bennett, Nursing, hooded by Janet Pierce. Marilyn Shalom, Nursing, hooded by Janet Pierce. Kevin Sykes, Health Policy and Management, hooded by Mary Zimmerman. Catherine Zandurna, Nursing, hooded by Marjorie Bott and Elaine Williams-Domian. Adrienne Platt, Nursing, hooded by Cynthia Teal. Sharon Lewis, Nursing Practice, hooded by Cynthia Teal. Anna Groover, Cell Biology and Anatomy, hooded by Douglas Wright. Natalie Katz, Neurosciences, hooded by Douglas Wright. Anand Venugopal, hooded by Mike Worley. Please join me in congratulating the 2014 doctoral recipients. Will the stage party, the candidates, the faculty, and the marshals please remain standing? We ask that the audience please remain seated and wait to exit the hall until after the stage party first, then the candidates and faculty have all recessed out of the theater. This concludes the 2014 Doctoral Hooding Ceremony of the University of Kansas.